listening to Lights
Camera
Convo. This is an entertainment entrepreneurs podcast. And today is a special podcast. Not only is this episode 9, but it's part 2. Okay?
Yeah. We're picking up from where we left off, guys.
Yes, we are listening to Hollywood Moms on Raising Showbiz Kids.
Yes.
Again, Hollywood Moms on Raising Showbiz Kids. And there's 2 special guests with us today, in addition to our very own Hollywood mom, Kavita.
Yes, absolutely. We're with my besties, industry moms, Andrea Knoche and Nanette Wilson. Welcome back, ladies.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
This was so great. And, you know, guys, if you're catching us now, please go back and find us in the previous episode. That was a great introduction to this conversation now. And we're just kind of like...
Today we're digging deep.
Yeah,
And
we
last
are.
week's convo, again, if you have Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio,
Correct.
Amazon Music, we're on all podcast platforms under Lights, Camera, Convo.
Yeah, and in that previous episode, it was the tip of the iceberg where we just had introductions. We talked about what the moms do, what the kids are doing. But in this episode, we're going to dig deep and talk about just all the trials and tribulations in this journey for them and us, really.
That's right. So you're going to meet our 2 special guests and a quick re-intro for those just
Yes.
tuning in, because it should be said, these talents are really incredible,
Yep.
okay? First of all, Andrea Knoche. She's the dynamic mother and podcaster who fosters the talent of her 2 sons, right? She has Grant Knoche, renowned for his stint as a Kidz Bop Kid, and he's now actively based in LA as a singer-songwriter producer. Okay, she also has her son Hunter Knoche, once a child star for commercials. He was in Smucker's Jam, the cast of Barney, I Love You, and he's seamlessly transitioned as an entrepreneur, now working with creative brand deals for gamers. And I should also mention real quick about Grant. He's recently been on an NBC show called American Song Contest.
Yes.
And he has his song Mr. Independent.
I
Yes.
love that song.
It was so
It's
good.
one of my favorite
So
Grant
good.
Knoche
Yes.
songs.
Thank
And
you.
of course, Nanette Wilson, you know,
Hello.
and if you're seeing us on social media, following us at Lights Camera Conversation, you'll see that Nanette and I are matching in red.
Yes.
She's lady in red, and I'm guy in red. So here we are. Nanette, your daughter is so talented. You are the influential force behind Ciara Riley Wilson. You've nurtured her talent, propelling her into the spotlight. And not only is she a talented actress, she's also a fashion designer.
Yes.
She's a super creative from Oregon originally to LA. She's known for her dynamic roles in TV shows like Netflix's LA Finest. Let's not forget Kim Possible. Hello. And she's currently a series regular in Freeridge on Netflix.
This is
Yes.
incredible.
I
What a
know, so
bio.
exciting.
What an intro.
I am just so proud to call you guys my fellow industry moms and also
thank you.
my super close friends. We're a
Yes.
ladies group. We hang out.
Ladies who
off-
lunch.
Yes.
Often.
We lunch, we
and
salsa.
Walid's going to be joining us on the next
Martinis.
dinner. And girls trip. We've done girls trips together.
Yes, to Santa
We've
Barbara.
gone through so many amazing moments together, celebrations. We've gone to each other's kids' releases, premieres,
Yeah.
parties, gatherings. I think we're very supportive of
Very.
each
Yes.
other and each
Very.
other's kids.
We're
You are
fortunate
your
to
We're
be
so
friends.
community.
proud.
You are your
Yeah.
We are
community.
a tribe. We call ourselves a tribe.
Yeah.
We all have besties promise rings
Yes.
that Monica got us, and we really love to celebrate our friendship.
We do.
Often.
And it's
do
beautiful
it.
because
I
you have
treasure it.
so much in common.
Yeah.
We're going to just tell people off the bat how they can connect with us. We know our podcast is at Lights Camera Convo. I'm also on at Walid.Chaya, spelled WALID.CHAYA. Find me and let's chat. You have a great podcast, Andrea.
I do. Thank you. Yes, it's called From Mrs. to Ms., meaning going from married to divorced. It just talks about middle-aged women and what life is like for them after tragedy, heartbreak, divorce, whatever it may be, and just how to get yourself back out there. Get off the couch and out doing things.
and the handle on Instagram
yes.
is at
From
Mrs. to Miss.
So it's the number 2 for that.
Perfect.
From.Mrs.to.Ms.
And we can interact with you there. And you're always
Yes.
posting teasers and videos for your episodes.
Yes.
And it looks like so much fun because it is.
It
It's
is.
so fun.
Nanette,
not
how
for the
can we
faint of heart.
find you and Ciara?
Actually, Ciara can be found at Ciara Riley Wilson on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And you can find me on at Emerging Talent LA and at focuses and showcases the young up-and-coming talent in the LA area.
Yeah, no, thank you for that because I know how much you support emerging artists, and we've gotten so much love for our show, for my girls, for Andrea's boys. This is incredible what you do.
Yes.
It's kind of you're sharing that joy you found through the success of Ciara with other kids in the industry. So you're a true industry mom in that sense. So
Super
very,
mom.
very,
And
yep.
bestie Kavita, you too.
Yes,
Super
thank you so
mom.
much. You can find my girls, singer, songwriter, independent artist Ria Raj at RHEARAJ, and girl group member, my younger daughter Lara Raj at Lara Raj with 2 J's at LARARAJJ, and myself at Kavita Raj Mahal and at Mama Raj Kitchen.
Yes.
So multi-talented.
So find us on all these socials. Let's interact. Check out what we're doing because there's a lot going on here. And we're going to dive into this segment with an icebreaker to get to know our guests. We did play this on the last episode and on many with our guests, but today's for part 2. Again, if you missed part 1, go back to the last episode. Part 2 features different questions. So, ladies, are you ready to rapid fire some
I'm
this or that?
ready.
And you know me, I'm rapid.
I'm getting better at this.
Here we go. We start in 3, 2, 1. Movie set or TV studio?
Movie
Movie
set.
set.
Film noir or neo-noir?
Neo-noir.
Film noir.
Movies or TV shows?
Movies.
Movie soundtrack or original song?
Original song.
Oh.
Comedy or drama?
Drama.
Drama.
Film critique or viewer reviews?
Ooh.
Viewer
Viewer
reviews.
reviews.
Yeah.
Scripted or improv?
Improv.
Hollywood gossip or rumors?
Rumors.
Paparazzi or fans?
Fans.
Movie premiere or press junket?
Movie premiere.
All right, that's round 1. Awesome.
Ooh, how'd we
you
do?
have a lot in common,
We
team.
do.
We like the same food. We're,
Yeah.
we're besties,
You
remember?
switched from
Yeah.
comedy
Yes.
to drama on me.
Oh, well,
I
keeps
thought I'd shake it up a little.
Yeah.
It dep-
Love
I was
that.
feeling for second
Nanette's
episode.
Nanette's our planner in the
Yes,
group.
she
She
is.
plans all our lunches and dinners and,
And
where to go.
Vacations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's our
She does
Vegas
everything.
hookup.
We just
I
sit
love
back
it.
and
Vegas.
relax.
With no planner, there are no plans. So let's go into round 2, rapid
Right into-
fire. We're going to try to answer double.
more. Okay.
In 3, 2, 1. Rehearsals or performance?
Performance.
Hollywood legend or upcoming star?
Upcoming
Yes,
star.
of course.
Makeup or costumes?
Makeup.
Movie soundtrack or album release? Ooh.
Album
Movie
release.
soundtrack.
Yes, of course.
Biopic or sci-fi?
Biopic.
Film school or acting school?
Acting school.
Thriller or mystery?
Thriller.
Thriller.
Action sequence or fight choreography?
Fight
Fight
choreography.
choreography.
Film festival or Comic-Con?
Film
Comic-Con.
festival.
Film adaptation or original screenplay?
Original screenplay.
Did you ask that already?
No.
No, okay.
Awesome. We're getting to know our guests, Andrea
Yeah.
and Nanette.
That's why we're
questions.
friends. We're
Yeah.
besties.
I don't know why I said
fun.
Comic-Con. I've never read a comic in my life. You caught me on that
Comic-Con's
one.
fun, though. Comic-Con's not just comics.
I've heard it's fun.
But
yeah,
We
it's
live
fun.
right
huge.
next to, in Manhattan. Our apartment was
big.
right next to the
Convention
convention
center.
center.
Oh.
My God, the Comic Con lines
It's
was
big.
insane.
Oh, people show up and show out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of showing up and showing out, we want to dive in this segment to talk a little bit more about how you've showed up and shown out for your own kids and helped establish what people say their brand.
Yeah.
We hear this all the time, especially for actors and even musicians. What is your brand, or stay in your lane, or what is your type? And I give this advice to my actors off the bat. I say, you need to be moldable to play anything and keep all doors open.
right.
But at the same time, you need to know what comes easy to you, what comes naturally to you, and
point.
third, but not least, how the world and others see you. Okay?
Right.
So for you to molding your children in the ways you can as parents and the information you're learning and passing forward, what are some ways you've helped develop their brand identity and who they are today?
Well, for me, I think with, and I'm just more referring to Grant since Hunter's really out of the business at this point. He's doing his own thing. But with Grant, it was a bit of a difficult transition because here he's going from Kidz Bop, which he got at 10 years old. It was a nationwide search and they had 20,000 kids and they picked 4. And he went on tour for 3 years and did like 165 shows. So it's Kidz Bop, which is taking the songs of today and making them kid-friendly, to now, what you heard in the last episode, intrusive thoughts.
Oh,
so
yeah.
he is
Yeah.
very
It's not
much
a Kidz Bop song.
not a Kidz Bop song. He's very much
grown up
gone
now.
from this young sweet little boy to this man.
Aw,
and
that's so
I know,
sweet.
and and more recently he really I will say he came out as bisexual. I'm going to say that. You know, a
Great.
little bit over a year, maybe about 2 years ago
Right.
now. And he, you know, it was a really touching story for me because he told me about it. He didn't know how to tell his dad. Not that he wouldn't accept him, but it was just, you know, they have a really cool father-son bond. So he wrote a song called First Hello. And he played it for him in the car like they always do. They listened to it for the first time, and he videoed his reaction.
Aw,
and
that's so,
yeah,
so
and it was
emotional. I remember
beautiful.
that.
I know,
It was
and
very
it was
beautiful.
amazing as we thought it would be. His dad, of course, was very accepting and loves him no matter what. And you know, Grant did post that song, and it did go viral.
Yes.
Which is just that did catapult him and kind of really explode his career from that. You know, he does a lot of pride shows, but he also just does, you know, the normal everyday stuff. So, you know, going back to your question of how
Yeah.
you kind of get in their brand, it's really hard
Yeah.
to kind of figure out what that brand is going to be because you don't know what path they're going to go down.
Exactly.
Because it's a combination. I loved what you said. It's a combination of what you want to do, but also how the world
Perceives you. It's
so
very
striking
different.
that balance somewhere is this is who I want to be. This is the kind of music or acting projects I want to
Yes.
do. But this is what the world expects you to do. So
Absolutely. And especially coming out as bisexual, how are you going to be perceived in that
Wow.
way? What happens to your particular fans that are not okay with that, you know, or you might have the girls now are like, oh, he's into boys. Now what am I, you know,
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
belong there. So
Yeah.
it changes the dynamic of things. But what I love about Grant is he sticks to his convictions and whatever path he's on, and he's very particular about his brand, and he likes the style of music he does. He doesn't veer from it. It's just who he is, and
would
I
you
just
call
let him
it
be.
pop?
Yeah, he's kind of
yeah.
a little bit more of a dark pop, very Billie Eilish. Actually, if you
Okay.
go listen to his stuff, very, very cool stuff. He's got
Edgy.
Yeah, it's very edgy,
Yes.
and I love that about him. It's just not the norm. So,
And where
yeah.
can we find his music?
You can find him on any major streaming platform, Spotify, Apple Music, everything. Grant Knoche, Knoche. And then you can also find him on any social media platforms as Grant Knoche.
I love that.
Thank
and
you.
so, Nanette, branding with Ciara, she started with dancing, as you shared in the part one
Yes.
last week, and now she's on major television shows. How do you figure that out?
Well, actually, when we came to LA, she was around 11 or 12. And every 11 or 12-year-old girl wants to be an actress. And they're gorgeous. Coming in, oftentimes they look a little older than they are. But it was kind of like you're getting lost into the sea of beautiful 11 or 12-year-old girls. And so the pressure to be like that when you come to LA is that's what you're supposed to be. And she decided, I'm just going to be me. And whatever happens, I'm going to evolve into whatever I become as I get older. And so at that point, it's just an organic, authentic brand for her.
And I remember we talked about it on the previous podcast with you when we were lights, camera, conversation, right? There is also the duality of her ethnicity. So there is
Yes.
that whole factor that comes into the human branding, the artist branding. We can talk about that more, but that was such a big factor too.
Yes. Well, Ciara's half Filipino. So when she came to audition, she wasn't Asian enough for certain roles. And it took several years. And there's a point where they just, she would get roles and they would make them Filipino.
Yeah.
And they would match the Filipino parents to her. And then she would ask, on Quantum Leap, she asked the producers to give her a Filipino name, first and last name. And that was a major breakthrough, especially since when she was
Representation.
young, she was having difficulty getting roles. And now she can turn them into Filipino roles.
It's so incredible to hear the brand story and journey with both your children.
Yes, and Walid, you fit into this group so perfectly
Yes, we
because
adopt
you are a, dog daddy. You
Yes.
are a manager, supporter, and brother of a brilliant artist, Chaya, singer, songwriter.
Yes, that's my little sis.
Yes, and we had her as a guest on a previous episode, and she is brilliant. Her
Yes.
music is amazing. I'm like a big sister / mom for her. So
Oh,
for
yes.
me, she's very special. She's just like one of my daughters. So you understand the journey, but also as an acting coach who has, worked with so many mothers, you understand what kind of is inside our heads.
Well, you know, there's some cool moms. You guys are cool moms.
Yeah, we are. We are.
There are some cool moms. And then there's cheers.
Yeah.
And you've heard of drama moms and
Drama
dance moms and like that's
that
not-
was going to be
that's
the
not-
name of our show.
Drama moms.
We were going to have like a show
Ooh.
called Drama Moms.
You need some hard liquor for that. Some tequila. So with that said, it's interesting because working with my sister, she's a singer-songwriter, as you just mentioned, Kavita. My world is acting. It's film, TV, it's
Yep.
theater. My world's also Broadway. Like I grew up being a
Yeah.
Broadway boy, loving music and musicals, studied singing, dancing, acting, all of it. Moved from New York to LA because it's bigger here. There's more projects. You know, I did New York for 8 years and I was ready for more. And I'm happy that I'm bi-coastal still. I go back to New York whenever I can. But the bottom line with it is, Rowan, as a singer, has asked me often, you know, ways to get more work, right? More opportunities. And I've often said, act. Learn a monologue, get into acting class. And you know, what's funny is she's gotten that advice from other people since through being more active on social media, having more of a presence, learning to read well, to say something for a commercial or brand sponsorship, to, you know, so it's interesting how the worlds do collide. But
Definitely.
sometimes
They
you might
do.
not take it from your brother, but you'll take it from someone
Oh, no,
else.
100%. Yeah, for sure.
But you, with your kids, same thing. I'm sure
Triple
you've told your
threat.
kids
Yeah.
something several times, and until they hear it from someone else, it
Yes.
doesn't,
Right.
right?
You need that repetition.
So we're gonna listen to a song from Rowan's
Yay.
that she's impressed me so much with. And I can hear even the acting in her singing now because she's grown to embrace it, and her songs tell a story.
Yeah.
I'm psyched to hear it. So this is the Ruckus Avenue Radio, iHeartRadio debut of her song, Focus. So here's Focus by Rowan Chaya.
Okay.
Those eyes, oh babe, those eyes, they got me hypnotized. I know you feel the rush, I know you feel it deep inside. I wanna feel the kind of love that keeps me in the moment, 'cause timing passes slowly. Let go of everything I'm holding, it weighs on my shoulders like a ton of boulders. I wanna lose control, yes, I feel it in my soul. Running from my comfort zone, baby, let's lose control. 1, 2, 3, 4. Won't you focus on me? Won't you focus, baby, won't you focus? We got no worries, so baby, focus. We're living in the moment. We just figure out, but we get so high. Got no thoughts in my mind, and we get so alive. Focus. Till the end of the night, I'ma be so wild. I don't care who's around, I'ma live in the now. What you say, baby, hold like all you will. Focus on me. Before you know it, we're cruising through the weekend, like we've lost track of time. We're out of touch, we don't know what we're seeking. So let's change it all tonight. Feeling for that love that gives a rush. Right here, right now, baby, just us. Focus on me, focus on us. I wanna lose control. Yes, I feel it in my soul. Running from my comfort zone. Baby, let's lose control. 1, 2,
I'm so excited.
Look how
That
many
was
amazing songs.
Focus by
By
Rowan
Rowan
Chaya,
Chaya.
my own sister, the
Yay.
singer-songwriter and producer behind Focus.
Yes.
Yay.
What an upbeat song you guys were
Yes.
dancing.
I
That
love
was
it.
so
I saw you
amazing.
dancing
And you
in
know
your
what?
seats here.
She is doing a lot of dance pop these days.
we
and
want
I'm
it. We need
obsessed
it.
Yes.
with all her songs.
We need
Just can't
more
get them
dance
out
pop.
of my head.
Yeah.
I love it.
You know, I always say that Rihanna is my celebrity nemesis.
Yeah.
Because she refuses to release another dance pop album.
Yeah.
She released the Wakanda Lift Me Up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I want, to dance. We
Yeah.
found love in a hopeless
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
And Rowan, you are giving us what Rihanna won't.
Yes, thank
So
you.
Yeah,
thank
thank
you,
you.
sis.
Amazing.
Thank you, sis.
Enjoy
Love
that.
it. I want to hear from you, ladies, how that transition happened after you moved here. We talked about the fact that you moved here. What brought you here was the kids' success stories and the fact that they decided to do this very, very professionally. And they were getting opportunities. You moved here, and then how did that transition happen for you in your careers? How did you adapt? Because bills have to be paid. Life has to happen, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
how did that
it's
go?
very difficult at times, and I mean, Grant's 21 now, so he is, pretty much supporting himself for the most part, but it still ends up being on the parents in the end of the day because we want to be there to support him. We want to encourage him and just allow him to live out his dreams and do whatever he wants to do. Yeah, it does take a village. And it just takes everybody kind of chipping in and helping each other out. It's not always easy, and it does put strain and stress on everything, I mean, I have a full-time career. I'm in the mortgage business, and so I do that by day and my podcast by night. And I also have another little brand that I do as well. But you're trying to do whatever you can to be able to support them in their dreams. And that's what's most important. And we all just want them to feel like if they're going to fall, we're there to catch them.
Yeah, because some people have to find new jobs if you're going to move states.
Yeah.
Not everyone can take that job with them
Right.
across states.
Thankfully,
right?
I was remote, so
You
that
were
was
able
very
to, which is
helpful.
great.
Yep. And then his dad is also very supportive and very helpful. And that is the main thing, I think, is the support. When you feel like you have that support from your family, from your friends, it's like you just want to do the best you can, not only for yourself, but for them as well.
But also, it's about learning about the business, right? So, Nanette, you've gone through that whole experience as
Yes.
an industry mom, learning 360 about the business.
Yes, definitely. Well, when we came here, Ciara and I came first, and then we'd fly back and forth. And then my son decided to go to UCLA to be close to us. And then my husband found a job out here. So it was a gradual transition, but we all
How
decided
long did
to
that all
support.
take?
It took about 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So we were flying back and forth. And so,
Organically, the puzzle pieces are all like forming together,
Yes,
right? With
yes.
everyone chipping in.
but I have to admit, when we lived at Oakwood, it was such a great support system. It definitely takes a
And
village.
tell people about Oakwood again because they might have never heard of it.
Right. Well, there's actually a documentary on it. You can look it up. But it is an apartment complex, and it's huge. And people from all over the world come, and they had a child actor program at the time. And so Hilary Duff lived there, Justin Timberlake, a lot of celebrities, when they were young, lived there. And they used to have homeschool type programs, and then they would have agents, managers, acting coaches come in and give them a bit of what they do. So it was an excellent learning experience, and it provided a support group of friends. Grant lived there too, and that's how we met Grant as well.
Yeah.
And I'm still
Hunter
friends
did as
with
well.
the parents there. But it took a village because we all watched out for everyone else. And if somebody needed a reader, you've got one.
And what's that mean if parents are listening that don't
Oh,
know
yes.
what that
So-
sacrifice means being a reader?
When you have an audition, you need someone else to play the other role so that you can shine. And if somebody needed another person to read for your audition, you could find one right away. And I had mentioned to you before that Ciara was up for a part, and the casting director wanted her to fight
A stunt
5
thing.
grown men, martial arts, and
Right.
he requested it by that day. And we
Right.
were able to pull it off because I just called all the teenage boys' parents.
The text tree. You just
Yeah,
got on
yeah.
that phone and
and we
so
got
Nanette.
it. Yes, and we got it done. I have to show that to you later because you're gonna love it. But
That is the
but-
truest definition of a village.
Yes, it definitely takes a village. And now I've got these wonderful
Yes.
women,
Yeah.
industry moms that we hang out and we support each other and we support each other's kids. Monica and I helped Grant. We put on a big finale party for American Song Contest.
It was amazing.
And tried to get votes for him.
Yes,
And you know, I made a bestie.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I met you through Monica, and
Yeah.
and we helped Grant, and
Yeah.
so it was wonderful.
And you
to
know what? We
pull
support
together.
each other by going to each other's performances.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when you do that, the kids feel like just that additional, love.
Showing up. It's that simple sometimes,
Yes.
right? Just being there, being together.
Yeah.
But
mean-
what I was amazed at is how the things just flow and fall into place, right? When you're committed to supporting one or two of your children in this journey, the other things somehow, where there's a will, there's a way. The other things somehow fall into place, the ability to pay rent, to, pay for things that are needed, And sometimes, as an emerging artist, it takes a minute
Yeah.
before you have an income stream.
It is
and
not
we've had
easy.
many episodes
It's
on
an
that, on the
investment.
varied income streams that,
Yes.
as an artist, one does. And our kids are young adults, and they're in the process. They are building, their blocks. But we're here to support. And kudos to the families that are doing it, and also props to the families that are doing this from wherever they are.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is a
And
journey.
a question for you moms, what if there's a listener right now and they don't have support from their family? Because I'll tell you, my parents, they love me to death. My mom has caught on to the game and what I do now. She's knows what showbiz is.
Yeah.
But my father has no idea what production is. Very old school. You know what I mean? Just doesn't know the industry. He just doesn't. It's not his fault. It's not his world.
Yeah.
What would you say to aspiring artists that might not have super moms like you or dads? What would you say to them?
I would say to just keep going. It's not about that. It's about what feeds your passion, what your dreams and your desires are at the end of the day. So if you don't have somebody to support you in your direct family, somebody will, and they'll catch on.
Okay.
I think they will.
If you're passionate about it, just go for it. Definitely. And you will find a support group. You will find friends. You will find professionals to help you. And if it's something you want, just keep going. Keep going. If you keep getting good response, that means it was meant to be.
Yeah, and the trials and tribulations are real. The challenges are real. They
Absolutely.
exist. The tough side, the difficult days are there, and that is what dissuades some of the families from wanting to support their children. Because innately, I think families are protective. You almost want to protect your loved one from experiencing all of those things. It's almost easier to have them take the safer path. There's nothing wrong with it. I think it's great. However, if you as an individual artist do want to do this, I think understanding the systems in place is very important. Understanding the process. If you're an actor, okay, you need an agent, you need training, you need headshots, you need understanding the process. If you're a singer, having a representation for your songwriting, putting music out there, trying to learn production on your own. As an independent artist, all the different things that it takes to learn the process is very important. And then you start doing it and showing it. And you have social media now to share it. And you keep doing it consistently enough with practice, and people will catch on. And even if it's not your own family, like Andrea said, you may have someone that will see the light and
So many of my inspirations have been my acting teachers. I remember Miss Lydia Walter from elementary school. I remember her. She was my speech and debate teacher. She put me in 12 Angry Men, which we call 12 Angry Jurors. It's a famous play. Okay.
Yes.
And I got to be in that in, middle school too. And she really shaped and inspired me because my parents didn't know to convince me. Like you said, Kavita, they were more than likely protecting me. It's not that they didn't want me to do show business.
My parents were protective,
Right, but they, that's the fact of the matter. So when your children might get rejected from a project, because let's be real, there's more rejection in this industry, in my
Yes.
opinion, than any other, whether you're an actor, singer, or dancer. Tell us, is there a ritual or something you do to feel better about it or let it go? Or what's kind of that process like in dealing with rejection?
Yeah, what's the coping mechanism?
Cry and eat ice cream.
I love it.
No, I don't know.
Love.
Now, I think that, it's interesting. What I've noticed is that my kids have a lot thicker skin than I do, and they seem to handle it better. I don't know if it's just the Gen Z generation that can handle that better, the rejections and the no's. Maybe because of social media a little bit. I'm not sure. But when Grant would go in for an audition or Hunter, and I'd be like waiting, and I'd call the agent, hear anything? You know they're going to call you if you hear anything,
Yeah,
but you can't stand it.
Yeah.
And then when they don't get it, we're more distraught and more bummed about it than they are. And, Grant's just like, it just wasn't for me. On to the next one.
Yeah.
And I love that.
But I think they see the resilience that we have for ourselves,
Yeah.
and they watch and learn more than anything we can tell them.
Yes,
right?
yes.
They see that you're anxious only for them because you love them so much.
Right. You
But then
want
they
it so
watch
bad
how
for them.
tough you are for yourself, and they watch and they learn that.
Yes.
And they're like, you know what? I want
They
to
mirror
be there
that.
for
Yeah.
myself. They mirror that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do
Yeah.
you guys?
You know-
how do you cope with situations like that when
Well,
Ciara goes through it?
She was a competitive dancer, so she was used to competition and being in that, and she does have a thicker skin. But what I try to do with the acting at a young age is that she would get the audition, we would have fun preparing, whether it be, well, what are you going to wear? And then we'd practice and try to make it fun. And then we would go to the audition. We'd put on All Star by Smash Mouth in the car, jam out,
Yes.
just to get that energy
Hey, now,
up.
you're an
Yeah.
all-star.
Get you
Yes,
Yeah.
what a great tradition.
Yes, and then she would go in fully prepared, do the audition, come back into the car, and I would say, how do you think you did? I think I did the best job I could possibly do, Mom. And then we would go do something fun. We'd go see a movie, we'd go out to dinner, we'd go to Universal City Walk, and we would
love
forget about
that.
it.
Let it go. Throw it
Yeah,
out the window.
because we don't
Do your
s-
best and then
yeah,
leave it.
because you'll drive yourself crazy trying to check your emails and trying to, have
Do
you heard
what's
anything?
expected of you and
right?
move on.
And then we would get another audition, and we'd do the same thing.
Yeah.
And then if we got a call back, we'd celebrate.
Yes.
That's the only
Because
way.
there's so many more opportunities, and just take advantage of all the opportunities out there, and just think positively.
It's not a no forever, it's a no for now.
Yeah.
While we
Right.
have two special guests, Andrea and Nanette here, we also have our own dance drama mom, acting mom, singing mom, Kavita Raj.
Thank you,
And
guys.
Ria has a remix.
Yes, thank you so much for saying that. Drama mamas, we all are here. In the spirit of sharing our kids' amazing accomplishments, turning adversity to advantage, and always, staying positive with their journey and moving on with new releases. Here is a new song that Ria's dropping on March 1st. It is the remix of Messy, and it's by producer Alon. It's the Alon remix, and very excited to share with you all and see what you all think.
Yes, so without further ado, Ria Raj, Messy Remix by Alon.
Jeez, that sexy, and I'm here like that's my bestie. Fuck with me, who you testing? If you want it, let's get messy. Overrated, all the boys are overrated. So conceited, stroke your ego, then I'll break it. Say you need it, lucky if I let you see it. Heavy breathing, wait till we get physical. Ooh, I'm a hottie, my body crazy. Ooh, you would die to see me naked. Ooh, I'm a hottie, my body crazy. Ooh, you would die to see I ain't wanna play. Take your breath away. Nothing left to say. If you want to, let's get messy.
Yes. Messy
Go
remix. Ria Raj's
So good.
messy
Awesome.
remix.
Yeah, props to Alon for that amazing, amazing production and remix. I always love like a dance remix of every song.
I mean, the original is such a dance hit
Yeah,
without
absolutely.
being remixed. And I was just curious where it's going to go with the remix.
Yeah.
And it's next level dance. It's
Yeah.
like I said,
Nightclub.
I want it
Yes.
to be 1 a.m. on the dance floor of a nightclub. And Nanette, what did you say?
Well, it's the day pool.
Yeah, pool
it's like
party.
night,
I
it's
wanted
a
to
pool
play at a
party.
pool party.
It's, just,
Yeah,
it's a
there you
fun,
go.
upbeat,
Yes.
danceable
Yes,
song.
take me to Vegas, somebody.
Yes, we're going.
How
Yes.
exciting.
Walid, you're
Congratulations, Ria, Mama Raj.
Thank
Congrats
you.
on that remix.
Thank you so
and
much.
more's coming up with Ria. I know
Yes.
this is a big year for her.
Absolutely.
So we'll be looking at a lot of that.
Yep.
I'm just curious to hear a little bit more about what you ladies are doing, in your own time, because you have your own lives. Hello.
And careers.
And careers and, ambitions and projects and side companies. And so can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah.
Yes. So I mentioned before, I'm in the mortgage business. I've been doing that for 20 plus
Yeah.
years, but I'm actually on a bit of a hiatus with that at the moment, and I'm just trying some other stuff, which is
Awesome.
Yeah, it's just been
You have an
so.
entrepreneurial spirit.
I think I do.
do.
And I think I kind of fell into the mortgage business, and it's been great, and I've enjoyed it, and I would still go back and do it, of course, but I'm enjoying just doing my own thing. As I mentioned, I have my own podcast, From
Yeah.
Mrs. to Ms., and, I do just talk about middle-aged women. I talk about rejection mainly with me. I'm dating, and I was married, divorced, and I put myself out there in this whole new world that I don't even know, this online dating
You
stuff.
put yourself out there in a way like artists put themselves out there
Yeah.
too.
It
You're
is the
so
same. You're on
vulnerable.
It really is. You're vulnerable.
You're getting
100%.
rejected. You're getting loved and
Yeah.
accepted.
Just hoping someone says
Second
yes.
day callback.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I have a reader.
Same
Tells me I
thing.
was steering on my ear and telling me what to say before
You
I
were
go
a
in.
model.
I was a model.
Yeah.
So, but I really
You
try to
still are.
I am trying to do that on the side. I am a brand partner for a company called Savvy, and they do
Yes.
workout, and lifestyle, clothing, health, and fitness.
love.
Cute
And
clothes,
I am
yeah.
loving it. If anybody sees me on here, I'm wearing one of their really cute
I love
dresses.
it.
They have just such amazing stuff, and I am really just venturing on that. And my goal is to replace my corporate income within the next 12
Yes.
months.
Yes.
So that's
love
going to
it.
happen. So I'm kind of just doing those two things, and just whatever comes my way, I'm just letting the universe speak to me right now.
You're leading
Find
by
those
example,
opportunities.
right? You're leading
Yeah.
by example by pursuing your dreams too.
Absolutely.
You
Yes.
have done your dues, so to speak, and you have showed the
Yes,
kids that you're
it's
there
my
to support.
turn.
But it's also your time now as they're young adults, such supportive boys themselves.
And they want to support
Absolutely.
you.
They
Yeah.
do. They're
Brand's
super
so proud
supportive.
Of you. Hunters so proud
Yeah,
of
You
you.
and your ex have such a
Great relationship.
Yeah,
Great relationship.
friendly relationship.
Yeah.
Your podcast is so great. I
Oh,
know you go on
thanks.
dates, so you have
I
content.
do. There's some good stuff in there. I mean, I
Yeah.
can say it
Kavita,
on
I was
here.
telling Andrea we need to go and dish it with her on her show.
Yeah,
yeah.
Do a
yeah.
crossover.
Yeah,
And Andrea, you've said
absolutely.
it's not as PG, so we're going to
No.
expect some fun adult topics.
Yeah.
I can bring it. Don't you
Yeah.
worry. You
And
want to talk
Nanette,
sex
you
with me?
are-
Let's go.
And I know that when you and I spoke last, you were planning and preparing for your consulting business.
Yes. Well, I came from the traditional business world. I was a pharmaceutical district manager. And then this opportunity for Ciara came, so I just dove right into it. And I've learned so much this past decade. And I want to share it with people because I didn't have anyone to help me or guide me when I came to LA. I had to figure it out for us. We both had to figure it out. And so now I have this knowledge and I want to share it because there's so much talent out there that could benefit from what I have to offer. So I do have a consulting business, Emerging Talent LA, and you can find me on Instagram. And I would love to share the knowledge with any budding young actors and their families.
I love that.
Yes.
Zip
I
right
feel
through
like this
it.
is just
is
the tip
fun.
of the iceberg
Yes.
again. I was like, we're gonna get deep, but you know what?
We
just
did
need-
get deep.
We did.
We covered a lot. There's always more to cover. I mean,
There's always
years
more.
of your
There's always
children
more.
doing this
Yeah,
team,
exactly.
2
Oh,
decades nearly for some of you moving and relocating to Hollywood, figuring it out, creating your own guidebook, and here you are. So while we wrap this up, it was so exciting to also hear about what makes you individual, what you're up to. But can you discuss a little bit about how your child or children's career has influenced your own perspectives and goals?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I think that just watching them with their resilience that they have and their ability to just take a no and turn it around into something else has really made me like, what am I going to sit here and be like, well, I can't do it. You know, when you see, like, for them to get up every day, for Grant to get up every day and have the drive that he does to just keep putting out more and more music, even though, you know, something may not hit, you know, something hits for whatever reason or not. So I just try to stick with that. So that's kind of what I do. What about you?
So fabulous. So I can resonate with that so perfectly.
I have learned so much this past decade, and I have seen Ciara on the red carpet doing press junkets in New York, and I've seen what the team does. I've seen what the manager does. I've seen what the agent does, the PR people, and I've actually been able to learn how to do it. For her 18th birthday, I had a party of 300 people, and I had Getty Images, and it was
party.
mammoth.
That's
Yeah,
a
and I
big
did
party.
it. Yeah, and then I helped Grant with his party. I'm just realizing what skills I do have. I can get
You
an
bring
article.
people together.
Yeah.
Yes, I can get an article press if you need it on a certain level. Styling. I helped Ciara with her styling. I have had so much knowledge these past several years, and I would love to share it with you all. So I'm working as a consultant right now with Emerging Talent LA. If anybody's interested.
That is so, you know, you just nailed it when you said that you're sharing everything that you have learned, right?
Yes.
In your consulting business. And what that is we're seeing it in real time. Our kids go through it. Everything from like,
Yes.
okay, what does a release need? What does a press project need? What does a rollout need, right? What is like a post-release marketing, social media? What does it all entail? What is like the pre-production, like, you know, putting out a music video, putting out a
Right.
song release? What is all the steps in it? And then all the administrative that goes behind it. You learn all of this, and you're enough to be able to do all of this 360 for your artist as an independent performer that doesn't yet have the resources to hire professionals for each and every little thing. But that learning for your own child and then sharing it with others is really very special. It's very, unique because you bring that perspective
And it's
of a
very
parent.
thoughtful.
Yes.
It's very considerate. I mean, myself as an educator, knowing that there's moms like you who are already so busy in your own lives that are still taking the time to want to help others, as simple as that, even by being guests on our show today.
Right.
Thank you for me and
Yeah,
Kavita
thank you for
those
having
stories.
us.
Well,
for
Willie,
being here.
you were talking about how do I get started if I don't have a supportive mom or family or don't know what to do? And that's where I would like to come in for people who have that drive, that ambition,
Yeah.
the talent, but they just don't know where to go or they're stuck. And
love
I would like
that.
to
Go to
get that
Mama
different.
Nanette.
I
Different
love
perspective.
it.
Stage mama.
I love it.
LA mama.
Filling in that gap, right?
Yeah.
Answering
Yes.
those questions.
Yeah.
So, ladies, in just a couple words before we wrap, because we're almost at the end today, what can we expect that's upcoming next for you or your child? Any upcoming works, episodes of your podcast, for example, Andrea?
Absolutely. Thank you for asking. So, I'll start with Grant. He does have a new deluxe version EP coming out in April with all of his amazing songs that he's been working on. Yeah, so that's super exciting. And then my podcast, it airs every Thursday morning at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 a.m. Eastern Time. And every week is different. I have relationship coaches on there. I have a tantric expert. I have an intimacy whisperer. What? I know. So I love that. And then I also have, my Savvy brand, and you can find amazing work in lifestyle clothes, and you can become a brand partner and do just what I'm doing. I wear a lot of the clothes, and people are
And
like,
you
"What
look
do you
great.
wear?"
You look like
Thank
$1 million.
Oh, thank you. And people
Yeah.
see it and they're like, I want that too. Where do I get it? And then I make commission on it. So it's just little side jobs. I'm open to doing anything. So
Love
You're
it.
busy.
I'm
You're
busy. I can take
mama.
on more. I can take
Yes.
on more.
Talented.
Yeah.
Nanette, what's next with you and Ciara?
Well, Ciara can be found on Netflix right now in the series
And
Freeridge.
you can too on one of the episodes.
Yes, LA's finest,
Yes.
episode 9, Kangaroo
Yes.
Jack, if you want to catch a glimpse of me. And so Ciara, you can get her updates on her upcycling fashion
Yes.
and just future projects at CiaraRileyWilson.com and Ciara Riley Wilson on Instagram. And then also please follow Emerging Talent
Yes.
at Emerging Talent LA. And if you need a party planned or any PR or just any sort of advice, contact me.
Yeah,
be
the
happy to
amount
help.
of the amount of connections you have in the industry over the years that you've built is very special for the consulting business, because you really kind of just have those PR
Roots.
connections.
Yeah, I can lead you to the right person. If I
Yeah.
can't help
Yes.
you, I
You've
can
helped
lead
us.
you to
You've
the right
guided us.
person.
And thank you
Yeah.
both for coming. This has been such an exciting
Yeah, this is
episode.
so amazing,
To our
guys.
listeners, if you didn't listen to part 1, go back an episode. Otherwise, catch us next week with a brand new episode. More to come. You don't want to miss it. Follow us at
Lights, camera, conversation.
Radio. I'm
Yes.
Walid Chaya.
I'm Kavita Raj.
And this is Lights
Camera
Convo.
Thank you
Cheers.
guys.
Cheers.
दिल भर जाता है सोचूं जब भी बातें तेरी जान